So today I'm going to be moving out. Like I said, I've been living here in co-living for about 7 months now. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to try remote working. Now, I know when you hear most people's stories about remote working, you think of, always traveling to different countries every month. My remote working's a little bit different because as well as doing a little bit of travelling, a lot of it's still going to be in the UK. The reason why, I've got a small startup company. I've had employees before, but now I really want to scale up. So my intention of remote working as well as travelling and working in countries is having that flexibility to work in different cities in the UK, to get the company name across there a lot more, to try and build up the company brand. The reason why is because we launched the company in London. There's a lot of competition, so we're looking for alternative sources. So I'm going to be heading up to Manchester. There's some work that I might be doing in Liverpool. There's some talks that I might be doing up in Newcastle and down in Brighton as well. So for me, remote working is going to give me some opportunities, some flexibility to go and visit different countries. I'm off to Tel Aviv again at the end of February. Hopefully, I'm going to be getting over to Valencia, Lisbon, which is another good startup city. I want to try out Berlin, Warsaw in Poland, and Stockholm as well. So, keeping within Europe, and there is some logic behind that, like I said, because when you look at some remote workers, they will have their job which is completely workable off a laptop and they're able to go away for X amount of months and move around that way. With myself, I still need to come back to London on a regular basis, 1 or 2 times a month for meetings and things. As it gets on, I may travel a bit further, but for the time being, I'm trying to build this remote networking up of cities in the UK to scale up the business, as well as cities in Europe, because admin work and general things like that I can do from a laptop. I can remote work with some of my clients at times. And I also like to do a lot of talks. I'm doing a lot of talks on how to build a community in business and how that can inspire people's businesses to be more inspirational, more productive, more innovative. So having that flexibility again enables me to go to different cities across Europe, Israel, big startup cities. So people ask me, well, why don't you just, work from home and then just travel when you want to? Well, that's sometimes all very well for some people, because they've got the flexibility of sometimes when you travel, your company pays for your travel expenses. When you're self-employed, you don't have that. So when you're going to be paying a month's rent and you're probably only going to be in the apartment for 1 to 2 weeks of the month, it seems completely stupid. So I've decided to go fully remote. I'm going to be living out of this suitcase. There we go. Now, I've not packed my whole life into this suitcase. I've got another suitcase sat in a small storage locker down in Latimer Road in West London. In that suitcase, there's just some general paperwork and some summer clothes, because it's January now in London, so I don't need them. The idea behind that is when I go off to, say, Valencia or Tel Aviv or Lisbon, then there's a switch around suitcase, so I can switch around my winter and my summer clothes, and I'm only paying about £30 a month for this storage unit. Some of my worries, one of my main worries is I'm using a sister's address, but a lot of people said when they sometimes remote work, they like to have a fixed space still. I'm losing that, so we'll see how that goes. But I worked in the travel industry for quite a lot of time, so I don't think that's going to be a massive issue for me. So it's the 1st of February. I'm not actually travelling far for the first week. I'm off from West London to East London, just because it was easier to move out on the first of the month with rent and things like that. Second week in, I'm off up to the north of England, Manchester, Liverpool. I may even see if I can get to some other northern UK cities. Back down to London for a week, so quite steady. Then maybe off to Brighton. And then for the latter part of February and into early March, I'll be in Tel Aviv, over in Israel, before coming back to London. And I haven't booked my accommodation from the 5th of March onwards. It still lies blank, so we'll see how that goes. But definitely I think Berlin is going to be on that list, and maybe hopefully Stockholm or somewhere like that. So we'll keep you updated. Like I said, I'm doing this for the people, so I like to travel, I like to live in different communities, and really this year I've decided that my business doesn't have to be in London. You know, I'm looking for alternative options, cheaper options, you know, maybe when I'm up in Manchester I'm going to look at some properties as well that I could buy. Again, it's helping me save up for deposits and things because I've cut out a lot of rent.